I'm Eddie Garcia, co-host of the Puck Podcast, with your Puck Podcast Hockey Minute, a recap of the night in the NHL and a preview of tonight's action. 9 games in the NHL on Sunday. The Rangers knock off the Golden Knights 4-2 with Jonathan Quick, our number 3 star of the night, becoming the first U.S.-born goalie to record 400 career wins. Artemi Panarin gets his 22nd goal of the year. JT Miller had 2 assists, and Mika Zibanejad in his 900th career game had a goal as well. In the loss for Vegas, Jack Eichel scored his 18th of the season, and veteran forward Brandon Saad in his Golden Knights debut held without a point. Vegas remains tied with Edmonton atop the Pacific Division. Each team has 68 points, although the Oilers have played one fewer game and have one more win than Vegas. So right now, Edmonton would hold the tiebreaker. The Rangers are 5 points behind Columbus for the final wildcard spot in the East. Stars won their 5th straight, downing the Blue Jackets 5-3. Evgeny Donov scored twice in the third period, goals 14 and 15 in the win for Dallas. Wyatt Johnston also picked up his 15th goal of the year. In the loss for Columbus, Adam Fantilli scored his 16th goal of the season, and leading goal scorer Kirill Marchenko left in the second period with an upper body injury, didn't return. In their debuts for Dallas after coming over in a trade, McKeel Granlund and Cody Ceci both saw a lot of action for Granlund. He gets an assist. Ceci played 22 minutes and 16 seconds on the blue line. Panthers snapped the Islanders' 7-game winning streak behind a hat trick from our number 1 star of the night, Carter Verhaeghe. Goals 13, 14, and 15 for him. Sam Reinhart added his 31st of the season for Florida, who now has a 3-point lead on Toronto for the top spot in the Atlantic Division. For New York, they remain 4 points back at Columbus for the final wildcard spot in the East. Red Wings down the Canucks 3-2 in overtime for their 6th win in a row. Alex DeBrincat, our number 2 star of the night, scored twice, goals 22 and 23, including the overtime game winner. In the loss for Vancouver, Philip Hedl scored a goal, his 12th of the season, in his Canucks debut. Marcus Peterson also made his Vancouver debut, coming over in a trade. No points in 25 minutes and 57 seconds of ice time. Detroit holds the number 1 wildcard spot in the East. Vancouver is 2 points back of Calgary for that last wildcard spot in the West. Sabres down the Devils 4-3. Tage Thompson scores his 26th of the season for Buffalo, but also left the game after taking an elbow to the head from New Jersey's Stefan Nason. Look for Nason to get a suspension on that when he got a game misconduct in the game. Also, Jason Zucker adding his 18th of the season in the win. J.J. Peterka his 15th, and Rasmus Dahlin had a pair of assists. He's now 2nd all-time in franchise history for assists among defensemen. In the loss for New Jersey, Jack Hughes scored his 21st goal of the season. Avalanche shut out the Flyers 2-0 behind 24 saves from goalie Mackenzie Blackwood, his 2nd straight shutout. Nathan MacKinnon gets his 20th goal of the year, also his NHL-leading 80th point of the season. Colorado has the number 1 wildcard spot in the West. For Philadelphia, they've now been shut out 3 straight games. Ducks down the Canadiens 3-2. Anaheim fell behind 2-0 in the first period, then scored 3 straight goals. Frank Quatrano gets his 16th to tie it. Alex Killorn's third period goal was the game winner for Anaheim. Montreal's dropped 5 in a row and are 6 points out of the final wildcard spot in the East. The Flames defeat the Kraken 3-2. Calgary jumped out to a 3-0 lead with Morgan Frost scoring his first goal as a Flame. He recently came over in a trade from Philadelphia. Jonathan Huberdeau added his 20th of the season. That turned out to be the game winner on the power play. Calgary holds the final wildcard spot in the West. For Seattle in the loss, Capo Caco scored his 9th goal of the season. And the Blues got by the Utah Hockey Club 2-1. Jordan Kyrou scored the game winner in the third period, his 22nd goal of the season, while Jordan Bennington had 24 saves in net in the win for St. Louis. Coming up on Monday, 1 game on the schedule, just one. It's in Nashville, 7:30 Eastern, where the Predators are hosting the Senators. Ottawa holding on to the 3rd spot in the Atlantic Division going into that game. I'm Eddie Garcia. If you like this, we do it every weeknight. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out our podcast recapping the past week in the NHL every Monday morning, which you can find on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcast. Just search Puck Podcast.